welcome back to another game. We've had 2 games against Chester before. No idea on the colourings, but let's see how we go. We're one win each. Looks like I've had black both times. And we get a mainline Banji. So did he play the London? I can't remember. I definitely played someone a couple of times that had the London, but let's have a look at Chester. Yeah, 1,000 games in Rapid, 26 blitz. Yeah, so the main move is bishop e6 to stop me from going bishop c4. This is what in the database most players will play against you. So I feel like I know this opening reasonably well. Like I said, I'm kind of toying with the idea of playing something else. First I need to decide what to play. Maybe something that complements my black repertoire so I can kind of learn it twice as quick if I'm getting reps in as white too. Or I just play something totally new. Just play like Jabava London or play, I don't know, literally anything. G6. G6. You trying to play this? Because I know that a combative way of playing against this is you play h5, h4. This is interesting. I don't think we've ever seen a G6. So obviously threatening the pawn here, and ideas of landing on this square as well. F6. So I think this is actually the way that you're supposed to play. And then you play this. So the question is, what do I do about it? I don't know. Like, I can continue doing my normal stuff, right? But here, and then the knight has to move this, and then this can come forward, and then this one has to go here, say. So I think I want to try and create some counterplay against these pawns here, because his king's not going to be in a good shape. So I think, trying to think big picture, they don't really want to castle this way. They've moved a lot of pawns, they don't really want to castle this way, so I want to just blow up the position and leave your king stranded in the middle. I don't think taking is particularly viable. So this and this, just to kind of could get something going. I think we're fine to start with d3. Like I say, it gives this knight a way back, opens the bishop up. So this is still part of the main plan, but I really need to focus on, do I want to be playing c3, b4, a3, a4? You just want to be targeting, ideally, this c5 pawn. So this and this, with this maybe. Or I switch up and play these pieces over here, castle long, and say it doesn't matter that you're pushing all your pawns on the king side. Yeah, so that's defended twice. That's going to be a difficult pawn to budge. So do we switch over to c3? And take and try and open ourselves up this way? I think c3 makes quite a bit of sense, doesn't it? And if they take, we're taking here and feel like we're making some progress. So obviously the downside to them putting their queen here is their f8 bishop isn't going anywhere. And this isn't, okay, right, so they did that, so they could do that. So I get one of these moves in now. So queen here, knight here, bishop here. This, more knight here. if bishop goes back, I've either got like queen there or I've got bishop there. Bishop here, or bishop here, queen here. No, that's not a threat. What do I take? I think bishop there applies a bit more pressure. And in general, I think I probably want to keep the pieces on, keep their position cramped. I've always got the option of trading if things get a bit ugly. I think my next move is bishop d2. I say with this kind of mega pin, if I can make one of these knight jumps work to add an extra attacker through here, that's nice. Or simply maybe trading and bringing in a rook over to the c file. I think I'm going to have some pleasant play from here. I'm going to switch it up, play queen here, get their bishop out, and then knight here. Like I say, this isn't a threat, so I can kind of do what I want. And even if I play this, they're not threatening to take because I take the rook. You are threatening to move the knight. My position feels kind of flexible. How am I down on time? I feel like I played very quickly. Also playing a bit, well, I'm not really playing it, am I? Just at this point is weak. Well, we've kind of stopped what the textbook says are the kind of dangerous thrusts with the G and H pawn coming forward. Okay, so you throw that out to the side and it wants to come back in to f7. So I think I want a castle. Yeah, and again, like if things, they try and blow things up here, any kind of trades, there's an option of getting my rook on the e file and lining up against the queen and the king long term. So I'm happy to castle here. I think my next move is going to be rook A over to C1, or maybe rook F over to E1. So maybe they are lining up to castle kingside, which would be interesting. I can continue with this. And obviously when they castle, then their rooks will be connected, and then a6 is an issue. So I do need to start having a think about that. My thought process is, yes, and they've gone for that now, I can drop one of the pieces back. So what I don't want to do is now when this comes, I'm either forcing to trade and I lose my bishop pair, which is not great, and then have to retreat the queen out of here, and they might get a bit of compensation on the queen side. Or if I come back, then they can hit me with b5 and I'm forked. So check, this probably happens. I wonder if there's some kind of like takes and be able to get this here. Obviously this diagonal's really weak for them, so I'd love to be able to keep my light squared bishop on, but whenever I come back they can go back for their trade. So is there an option of if taking here and takes back, taking here takes here, check over, there's not really, is there? Offers a draw, come on. We don't want to draw. Takes. Something of being able to get here with the right amount of tempo on it. So what about check here, queen here, takes, check, knight there, takes there. No, because the knight can just take it. I haven't eliminated the knight. Or we come all the way back through the position, all the way back here. I think I want to trade bishop for bishop, so I think I want to play this. I don't want to draw. I want there's more in this position to push for. I've got the white pieces, and I'd be losing rating points, so we're playing on. So yeah, I'd imagine they'll block with the bishop, and am I happy to? Am I happy to trade, or do I play queen back? Like I say, takes knight there. Queen can't come over. The king could just move over, couldn't it? Takes and this goes a bit weak. He's going to play rook over. Do I want to allow them to take? Probably not. Maybe I insert taking to give myself the file. I'm not doing very well time-wise, am I? I feel like I had some pressure that's evaporated. I think this is a pretty even position. I think I'm maybe slightly better because I've got access to the C file and I've not got this weird pawn structure. So this is an option which I might invoke now. There's not a lot going on for me. Like here's a little nip, but I'm going to play this. Probably need to be a bit worried about f5 coming at some point and just getting steamrolled off the board with like a rook coming down, your knight can jump in, a queen and maybe a bishop on the diagonal, I don't know. I think we're a bit away from that. I suppose pawn structure wise I'm thinking my two are on light squares, they've got a lot on dark squares, and given that we've both got dark squared bishops, that's favourable for me in an endgame. here, just have a little nibble on what you're doing with this pawn. Maybe I should be playing h3, get some luft in. Maybe I should be playing to double up rooks on the open c file. Just wanted to see what they're doing against this. Maybe they're just dropping their queen back. Yes, I kind of like this move. Although I could maybe get hit with this. Maybe they let me take, right? Maybe they do a nothing move. They just develop their knight. Let me take that over there, and then you're in here. Maybe we play b4. Actually, I don't think this is a great move, really, was it? I don't know if I'm really threatening to do much there. Maybe we do a more low-key build-up of rook c2, defending the pawn, and allowing rook c1. Because I'm thinking my queen's only real scope square is here. So if I go for this, then this move, and I come back, then b5 would fork my queen and rook. I can maybe get up though. Or over. I like the idea of this next. So what does f5 give them in the position? We have a weakness on e5. I don't know if I'd need to take. But maybe they push on with f4. But it gives this square's quite weak, this and this. Okay, queen goes back. So I can start my double up plan. I've also got check here now as my bailout. Although, you know, I just play this, won't I? Maybe in the future we'll be playing b4 and b5 once we doubled up, pressure on the knight, but they can always play knight here actually, which is a bit annoying. Over, or do I check and queen over? Queen over and then back. Where would I prefer their queen to be? I think where it is. Oh. Yeah, no. If I go on here, the knight just moves away, doesn't it? And on this, do I go up? Like takes and double up. I don't really have anything there, do I? So let's keep plugging away. Just rook A there. Probably play H3. It's got very drawish tendencies over here. They've already offered me a draw. They're trying to trade everything off, so... And why wouldn't you if you've got the black pieces against probably slightly unfavourable position? Yeah, I haven't really worked out how to massage this position any better. Options he's coming back to repeat. Be a bit careful. Careful I don't get my queen trapped by desperately trying to keep it on. Yes. That's interesting. Takes. So you can't. Well, I mean, you can take there. I take there. You get rook and bishop for the queen. I can't evaluate there was no decent knight jumps. So now this. Again, I need to be a bit careful I don't get it trapped. Which I might just have done. No, I can always come back to where I was. I'm going to play rook f c1. I'm not going to have to bring it back. Yeah. But yeah, everything's coming off. And actually, if the bishops go, then it's really irrelevant what colour all of these pawns are. Maybe should have traded queens, kept the bishops on, slow played it, played for f4 might have been the way to go. So you can trade and play and replace it. Takes, knight takes, bishop here. I get to keep the bishop on. Like I say, maybe you've got something in this just by the fixed D and E pawns. I'm sure at high level this is a draw. We'll find out if at this level it's also a draw. Okay, this rook can come over here now. Yes. Bishop here. King there. Can I get extra resources on that? Not really. So let's come back this way. Actually, yeah, also if I went there, bishop can just come here straight away. So, yeah, there's really not a lot in this. Need to play for f4, is my current thinking. And this knight could come here, and this get into this little pocket. And then play for this. And if there's let's get the bishop out here. This is so annoying. It's also a pretty good way of how you can try and force some draws. So knight here, bishop there. Let's suppose we take. I play this. They take, I'm back here, and I'll pick up one of the two, maybe the stronger one. So I've got a knight that's a bit offside, but it can come back. I think bishop there, I'm trading. I'm playing this. Give my king a walk into the middle. I highly suspect that this was their intention, playing bishop h6. No, okay. Speed up a bit. So now I really would like to play f4, please. And now f4, if they take, I can pick up this pawn and give them a bit of a weird structure and have this passed d pawn, which I think would be an asset in the endgame. So yeah, and they don't have time for this, because then I come in and hit the bishop, and that's quite a really nice outpost for my knight. I could even swap tactics and re-cement it back in. So yeah, I think playing for f4, and then if they don't take like a trade, and then I just try and put as much pressure on here as possible. So I'd have like a knight here, maybe one here, or here, and a bishop maybe around the back. Maybe the bishop could work its way to like f6, and then yeah, maybe that will cause some other weaknesses in their position if they're using all three of theirs. Their major pieces to defend, the minor pieces to defend the e5 pawn. Maybe then these pawns might become weak, or I can push my h pawn, or something will open itself up in the position. Yeah, so I suppose g5. Okay, you're just getting the king closer in. I was like, g5 would have prevented me playing f4. Well, unless I played g3, it's a real way of forcing it in, but I'd say the f5 square it weakens. I mean, it's probably not very viable as a move. Actually, this is interesting. I didn't consider g5 here. And takes, knight takes. Okay. Do I just keep the tension for a bit, or dissolve it? Got the right idea of kind of centralising the king. I think I want to bring my guy in. Maybe I'd really like these pawns to be sat here, but you know, they've got scope. Maybe a bit annoying if they get their pawn all the way down here for an endgame. Now takes this. Knight goes back. Then I'll pick up here. Is that a mistake? Takes knight here. How do you defend this pawn? If you push it, I get in here. You taking here? So now what are you playing on? Oh yeah, this square is vacated. Gotcha. So this would be a nice square to land a knight, and where would I like my bishop to be? I think it's doing the right job actually, just... Yeah, so this is where I'd like a knight to be. One, two, three, four. Is this move any good? You just push it. Is sacrificing and getting 2 pawns really good? How do I get a knight here? I'll play this. It's all about, can I force a pawn push? It does fix yourself on light squares, which is probably what you want to be doing, but to a certain extent, it's maybe you want to focus our attention onto these guys. This one up to f3. Maybe my king wants to come in here. I feel like it'll always be kicked away by the knights though. Like I'm the one pressing, but actually, like their pawns are slightly further forward than mine. They can maybe steal some space here, which might be optimal. But maybe do I want to play this and this? Then this pawn becomes harder to defend if it's like they're on light squares. But harder to attack. So. Okay. And this one coming back here. pawns here and here, and they've got there and there. There's no infiltration squares for their knights then, is there? They can just power up, they could have a knight here. I want to be playing g4 and giving away this hole. Go here and here. I need to be a bit careful. I don't. Maybe if I come around this side, that's obviously there's 4 pawns over here to try and protect. Yeah, maybe I should go here. And they're a bit of zugzwang that then their king and knight are tied down. The bishop doesn't really want to leave. Can't leave this diagonal, and if it goes this way, maybe I could infiltrate like this. So in which case this is really the only viable move. A bit to it. Is that something I want to play for? And I come back, and then I can sit here. Maybe it is. So you know what I'm talking about. If the knight's here, the bishop can just sit across there because this pawn isn't attacked. It's defended by the knight. Well, they're down to 2 minutes, so this is good as well. This is maybe the main way. Like, if I just try and walk in with my king. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. So check, takes, bishop back, takes. Is that winning? Check. I imagine takes, there, takes. There. I can close off this side of the board, and then it's, do I have enough to get round here? Like here. Bop. Bop. No, I don't think so. Let's carry on round first. This is an interesting idea. Also this. Force this. As and when I need it, or it forces this, which can only be good for me. I can place here. This, then maybe this. This. I think I like this now. There, takes. You know, and I think I can maybe squeeze my way in. Some combination of this with this. And this move I can play here. Takes, but then I can come back and force my way through. Yes. Okay, so we're down to a bishop endgame where the key pawns are on dark squares. The ones that are locked. The only two of mine that are on dark squares are flexy to move. Their king's infiltration is only through here. This. No, on this I can just sneak in here. This, and then here, and here, just takes here and there. Do I trade? Maybe I go here, it's the same thing, isn't it? And then here. This. Takes here. You're forced back, I'm up. I've got more moves to kill than you. Takes here. Push, I'm there and I win. You go back, I go here, or you go here, I go there, you go there. I kill a second move, you go to one side, you go to this side and I'm in and here. Yeah, this is winning. I think, well, this is not losing for me and I'm pretty sure this is winning. That I've got this move to kill, and when my king gets up here, I've also got b3 that I can kill a move with. And we might get opposition kings, but eventually you'll have to move. So you'll play here now. And when your king is here, it either has to go to one of these two squares, which will let my king come to one of these two squares. Yeah, and then on this, the important move is b4, and you can't slide in. thought you have to give up the pawn. So here, here, here. Yeah. It's funny, like if you could transport your king here. Oh no, ignore me. It's like if you can get to a position where my king gets stuck, the only legal move I have would be g4, but like my king can't come back through this way, but it can. Their king has only got one square now to defend the pawn from c6. So when they play c6, I play king here, and now they have to give up this pawn, and I can either promote it or use it as a decoy to come and grab all of these guys. I'd be interesting at the point at the point that it turned. That was a really good game, and it was definitely drawish. My opponent did all the good things to try and draw. I think whether they just ultimately ran out of time or traded down at the wrong moment towards that endgame when we got left with the bishops. So mainline Van Geet here. Yeah, so G6 is interesting. Where does that get rank in the database? 3%, 133 games. And White wins 64% of these apparently. So Engine likes C3 immediately. Play the knight out there, which is fine. I started off with D3, but I was starting to think about C3 ideas. We play C3 here. Yeah, I think I got into a bit of a pickle just trying to keep all the pieces on the board. Maybe objectively it was better to kind of trade some stuff. So like we're doing slightly better here. We trade. Oh, it's basically level, isn't it? If anything now, black's slightly better. Shuffle around. Yeah, I was thinking actually maybe this isn't the best way to go about it. Maybe I should have just traded queens, like I say, and try to play into the bishop endgame that we ended up getting anyway. Because I thought from here my bishop might end up getting stuck. Yeah, actually, because on a knight move, I was thinking about rook c1, but with this maneuver, I'm in big trouble, aren't I? So what do you do when you play this instead? And then here, and then my bishop's never getting back. It's the same idea, and I think when I eventually manage to get my bishop back, I think that should then give a slight advantage to me. So I thought at this point, this should read as a slight. Okay, it still says black's better, which is interesting. I thought I was the one pressing a bit more here. So there's nothing distinctive about this position. Felt kind of drawish. We trade a knight off. I suppose the one thing, given the way the game had gone, I didn't feel like black was going to try and infiltrate and attack me, which takes some of the stress out of it. And I thought, no, it's still not giving an advantage, but I thought I had some reasonable chances now. It still says a draw, but maybe it is a draw with best play, but from a human perspective, you're more challenged now. Still a draw. So here, I assumed that they might have to try and get in with their king was going to be their way of getting counterplay in this position. You'd almost let me get this pawn and you go after these two. It says this is still a draw, so bishop here. Oh, is it because you can play bishop here and actually your king covers all the squares that you need it to? So if you go here, I can't really make forward progress. If I bring it back, yeah, you can put it here, can't you? Which is again creates a barrier for me. The king here. Now it is a lost position, which I kind of identified. Yeah, so actually you need to keep the bishop on the board, and because the bishop sat here covers these squares, and if I could swap my king and my bishop around, or kind of put the king up here, I'd be winning. But I've got to move my bishop back, which then, depending which side I go, Like if I go this side, you can go this side. And if I go this, well, not there, but if I go this side, then you can come this side and make it challenging to do. So I was thinking, oh, you could move it out of the way to try and do it. But yeah, I suppose simply this is good enough. And I don't think I'd have a way of getting through this. I mean, the engine says there's no way of getting through this, so there is no way of getting through. So this is the critical mistake. Because now after takes, like I say, and because I get to lock the position up first with moves to spare, so on H4 I've got this tempo killing move as and when I need it. If the pawn came up, as soon as I go around the side, then the pawn becomes mine. You can't defend this pawn from here. So they played on with what I would have played. I kill. I don't think it matters if I play B3 or G3. I think they transpose king there, king there, king there, and here. And then the king would have to move to end this position and we pick up the pawn. So a long game, a good game, and a nice one to have got a win on. Thanks for watching.